G'day, it's Mark, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, more of a maintenance episode, I guess. As you may know, if you watch the channel or you subscribed, I've got an ML430 Mercedes-Benz V8, which is really cool. Love it. I used it to tow my LTD when I went out to almost outback Australia near the South Australian border, and bought a FC351 Ford LTD and brought that back with the ML. Did a great job. Despite the fact that it's got, well over 400,000 Ks on it, still does a great job. But ML Mercedes, they do have a reputation for having some issues around the power windows. So I bought a kit, and I'm just going to take you through how to fix that. If you've got an ML, whether it's a 350, a 430, a 500, it doesn't really make any difference, or a diesel. But anyway, follow along, and this is a way that you can fix your ML yourself. Is the ML here? Let's get into fixing the power windows. So you probably can't see it there, but this ML's got 433,596 Ks on it, and still doing a good job. Here's the power window control area. I put this tape on here because what it's been doing is you put the window down, then you flick the switch to come up again, it doesn't come up, it's to lose contact. You've got to take it apart and sort of muck around with it to get it to work. So I thought that's the last thing I need to do is, if it's about to rain or it's getting dark or whatever, have a window that's stuck down. So it's a pretty common problem. So anyway, I'm going to take you through how to fix it. Firstly, you can buy these kits on eBay. I'll just show you an overlay of what I bought and the price that I would have paid for it. Obviously, that's going to vary depending on when you watch this video. But, I only bought it, a month or so ago. So, I'd say it'll be fairly accurate. They're pretty cheap, basically. So here's the assembly here. I'd say it's an exact facsimile, except that maybe it's more reliable. I don't know. Just trying to do this one-handed. There you go there. That's what I bought. I originally tried to go to a wrecker and buy the parts, but you can't really take it apart without a lot of mucking around. So, you just buy the entire assembly. Sort of fits in there, mirrors the controls that I've got. Obviously, you've got to enter in the correct, year model. This is, I think, a 99 ML. So you just look up make sure it's compatible with, the vehicle you've got. And, this is how it arrives. Basically a plug-and-play system. All right, the first thing you need to do is open your console lid, pull that out, take out all the rubbish that you've got in there, and there's a couple of screws. Yeah, it's 2 screws there. I think they're Phillips heads. You need to remove those and take this lining out, because this overlaps this wood grain, which we'll be removing shortly. Okay, so you remove those screws there, and then this just lifts out. Okay, keep the screws in there, that way they won't get lost. Put it on the footwell in the passenger side. Once you've done that, apply the park brake, put the car into neutral, then you'll be able to lift this up. Okay, then just get your hand underneath and you can push this up. This actually just comes up, this lifts off. It's just got some clips that comes off there. And then this just literally lifts out. There you go. Get rid of this stuff here, just to make a bit more room. Just take this little mat out too, just to give a bit more space. Good excuse to clean it as well. So this just lifts up, okay? There we go. It's a bit hard one-handed, but, use both hands, makes it easier. And it just lifts up over this. Okay, so you just lift this up. There's just tabs here. See these tabs? That helps relocate it down into those slots. There's no screws for this component at all. Take the opportunity to give it a bit of a clean too while you're at it, I think. Would be my recommendation. Okay, when you lift it out, just turn it over. You can see there's 4 screws. You want to remove those. And you can look at the other assembly, the replacement one, to sort of see where they're located. but let's just do that so we can get rid of this wood grain for the moment, make it a bit easier to manage. And just when you're removing the screws, just try and put them somewhere where they're not going to get lost. You can put them in, you know, you might just leave them there. They can sit in that part of the seat. They're not going to go anywhere. Or if you've got a little tray or even a little magnetic tray, they're quite good actually. One of those would be ideal. Again, I'm just doing this one-handed, but just remove these 4 screws. The wiring does have enough room for you to literally, you know, rotate this around so you can get to the screws a little easier. So there's the last 2 remaining ones. So I'm just going to take those off now. Just the last screw here. Again, I'm just leaving them there, but if you've got a little tray, it's probably even better, I think. Now this should separate. Again, let me just use 2 hands, which you'll be using 2 hands. You won't be filming yourself doing it. But this just basically drops down from the wood grain here. So let's just try and do that. In fact, I'm just sort of pushing it down from the top. Makes it a little bit easier. There you go. It's got this joint here, which is the cigarette lighter. Just disconnect that. Okay, I've disconnected that. It's relatively simple. Just remember where everything goes. You can go retrace your steps or just rewatch this video. Put that out of the way. As I said, give it a bit of a clean while you're at it, because you know you do get rubbish down here just through general use of the vehicle. And then you are presented with the same control unit as the replacement. Make sure you get the replacement before you start doing this, of course. And then we just have to start fitting the new the wires to the new control module. Again, I'm doing this one-handed, but remove this blue plug first. I mean, it doesn't really matter the order, you just got to repeat that when you refit it. But basically you've got 4 connectors, all right? Again, even just take a photo with your phone if you're unsure about any aspect of it, but it should be all pretty straightforward to reconnect it. I should say there's 5 connectors there. There's a small red one that's separate. So where this one slides out of here, just get a flat screwdriver and just put it under there and just slightly prise it up, and then you'll just be able to pull it straight out. Okay, for this one here, I just got some needle point pliers and just pulled that out. It was a bit tough to get out, so I just pulled that out with some pliers. I don't think you'll do it by hand, but you could be lucky. That's what I did. So there's the old, out with the old and in with the new. Hopefully won't give us any grief. All right, so I've reconnected all the connectors. I guess, you know, if you took a photo beforehand, or just rewind the video to make sure that they're all correct. Now, before I button it all up, I obviously want to check that everything's working. So let's do that next. Beautiful. Yep, it's working nicely now. Front left. Front right. Rear left. Bit slow because it doesn't get a lot of use, but it's working. Rear right. Perfect. Yep, rear demister works. Yep, central locking works. Okay, so that is all working. So now I can reconnect it to the wood grain, and then I'll reattach this, which is a cigarette lighter connector. And yeah, just screw these 4 screws, put this back in, reattach the cigarette lighter, reinstall the wood grain, and nearly finished. Okay, so put the screws back in, and then we're golden. You probably don't need to watch me putting screws back in, but I think you get the general idea. it's a very simple process. You just got to know the steps, I guess, to remove the, the console, the wood grain surround, make sure the car's in neutral, put your park brake on, and it's, relatively straightforward. And I think the other point is the cost of the parts is, very reasonable. It's obviously a common failure point for these cars, and so the aftermarket's come to the party to provide a really cost-effective solution, which is terrific. So there you go. Of course, I dropped it. Come here. Yep, that's that. Yep. The last one. There we go. It's good. Okay, so then we just slide this wood grain surround in. There we go. Perfect. Just like I bought one. Made in USA. Interesting. Just clips on there, like so. We then put the screws that we've left in the bucket. Fits. Right, so refitted the wood grain piece. Just it's that little piece of metal there. Split pin, could definitely use that. Just fits back in there. Push the surround back on. That's done. Just gonna lock this down like so. Then we'll screw this in, and then I think it's pretty well done. All right, so that's done. Screwed all this back in. Little coin holder, and just all the crap that I had in the console can go back in there. This is really for the garbage. No point in hanging on to that. And yeah, that's it. I mean, let's just start it up again. You can see works. Works. All good. So that was a successful exercise, and as I said, better than taking it to a dealer or an aftermarket repairer and being charged probably, a few $100s at least. Probably $400 or $500, maybe more, to fix that. And really, it didn't take that long at all. I was doing it one-handed because I had the camera. I had a tripod as well, but that was probably more trouble than it was worth. But yeah, relatively quick job. I reckon, allow probably first time you're doing it, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you'll have the job done, but probably you could do it even a lot quicker than that if you're not filming and stuff. So yeah, hope you found it useful. If you've got an ML, that's what you do. Well, hope you enjoyed that little tech tip on how to repair your own ML power window system if you have a fault with the car. It's relatively straightforward, and just follow along the video as I've shown in the steps today, and you'll be able to do it yourself. So it'll save you a lot of money rather than getting a dealer or some aftermarket repair person to do it for you. And it applies to any ML model anyway, so in terms of this generation. So if you did enjoy the episode and you found value in it, give it a thumbs up. It does help the channel a lot, doesn't cost a cent. Hit the hype button, means more enthusiasts or more people looking to how to repair their ML windows will get to see the video. And above all, hit the subscribe button with the bell notification. Just means you're notified of new episodes as they come up. Or even if you want to put a footnote on it for yourself, if you do repair your windows, if you do have an ML down the track, just hitting the subscribe button will help you do that to find the video again. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.